Hello and welcome. I hope you're all doing fine. It's been a little while since I posted a video. I'm afraid life's been a little bit of a roller coaster recently, but here we are. I've got a little bit of time this afternoon, so I'm going to go over this with you. Today I'm going to show you a planner that I've set up for one of my best friends. She saw mine when we were out having a coffee one day, and she said, "Oh, that's just what I need. It'll save me carrying around an A5 diary and writing it out every year." So this is it. It's took me a little bit of time to get round and sort everything out. She hasn't yet bought her own planner, so I've got this one, which I bought last year from eBay. I was looking for a lovely red one for Christmas. This wasn't quite bright enough for what I wanted. It's a lovely wine, kind of maroon burgundy, deep red colour, and it is lovely. It's a Filofax Cuban, that's the model. It's got 23mm rings. It's very narrow and feels lovely in your hands. It does have a little bit of wear on the strap, front and back. A little bit of wear at the back here on the cover. A little bit more on the spine. But that was mentioned on the eBay listing, and the price kind of reflects that, because I think, I know I only got it for £15 last year. So I was very happy to pay that, but as I say, it didn't suit what I needed it to do. So it's just kind of sat there for a while. So I thought, oh, I'll use this one. If she doesn't get her own, that's fine. I don't mind that. So here we go into the Filofax Cuban for my bestie, or one of them. So inside on the cover, I'm just making sure that that's in shot for you. I'm sorry if it wobbles a little bit. I'm on a little quite flimsy 3-foot table, so it does tend to shake a lot. So at the front we have a secretarial pocket with 6 card slots. Ooh, my teeth's dropping out, and larger pocket at the bottom. So yeah, I used this, well, I would have used this for cards and things. Inside I've got a few, I've got a piece of vellum printed and a few spare inserts. So this is just lovely decoration in the front. It actually came from Plan with B. It's a freebie for autumn, and obviously we're coming into autumn, and I thought that this would go lovely in this kind of maroon colour, deep red, and it does. It looks lovely. So just a sheet about autumn, or fall if you're in America. Some of my favourite things about this season, which are sweaters and boots and crunchy leaves, crisp air, scarves and gloves, glorious colours, misty mornings, that's in yellow. It's quite difficult to, I don't think it's shown up very well. Hot chocolate, fuzzy socks, cosy nights, pumpkins, firelight blankets and toffee apples. So autumn is actually my favourite season of the year. I don't know what yours is. You can let me know. Again, this is from Plan with B. It's an A4 sheet, which I've cut down into personal size, and I don't like a plain white page in my decoration, in my planner, so that just nicely covers it. So her sense of humour is quite like mine, so I haven't labelled these sections in quite sensible names, but incoming is basically your inbox. Some to-do lists. I've done hers green, whereas mine are pink. So a couple of sheets of to-do lists. Some paper I got a long time ago from Paperchase, which is a company in the UK, which has currently gone into administration, sadly, after COVID. Stationery shop. So used to sell really nice, their own brand kind of planners and accessories and things. And this was just some of their lined paper. I have a folder for small photographs. Obviously, this is empty. There's no photographs in it. I will be putting some in for her, but her family is not my family, so it's not my decision whether they go on the internet or not. So I erred on the side of caution. So I have a little wallet here, and I have some photographs cut down to 2 by 3, which will fit in nicely. I got these from AliExpress. They were a little bit long, but if you trim them down, they fit personal fantastic. Next time I'm at, she has 3 boys. There's 5 of them in the house. So she's often going shopping and needing things during the week. So little reminders. So next time I'm at, so she's got 3 of those. And we go into Cinderella. So this is the cleaning section. So my morning brew makes me feel like I have my shh together. I don't, but it makes me feel like I do. She thought that was really funny. I got a nicer cup picture for hers, and it's all just on one sheet of paper. So if I could get some rub-ons, I might cover that. It's the same as my cleaning schedule, tracker sheet with every room in the house, and what needs doing on a weekly basis. We all know about the daily things like wiping your benches and things like that. This list, these things kind of came from the Good Housekeeping Guide for what you should be doing weekly and monthly and things like that. So, but each room is in a different colour, so it's easier to track where you're at. So she's got a few sheets of them, and monthly throughout the year kind of cleaning list. Obviously it's September now, so I don't know if this is going to work for her or not, so I've just kept it for the end of this year. If it works for her, then I can easily print another one. And also people to see who she wants to keep in contact with. She'll just write their names down there. So I actually got the inspiration for this from her, because at one point she made a list of all the people who she wanted to keep in her life. I was lucky and I made the list. So I consider myself very honoured on that one. So time flies. This is the monthlies. So this was just a picture I got from Pinterest, which says, I hope you always have the courage to keep growing with every beat and breath, no matter how many times the world breaks your heart. And that's quite appropriate. So, and on the other side is a Finnish noun, which is sisu. I'm not sure on the pronunciation. A special strength and determination to continue on in moments of adversity, having grit, bravery and resilience, refusing to give up. That's my bestie. She is a woman warrior, that's all I can say, and she carries on with a big smile on her face. So these are monthly overviews starting from September to December, again for the reason I've just said, really. So anything urgent, master task list that you need to do, month to view, very plain, straightforward. The boxes are as big as I could get them. And on the back, monthly spending, because she did want some finance kind of sheets. So that goes all the way up to November, and December are printed in red, because obviously that's Christmas kind of month. And another little folder for some more photographs. So Evil Plans, same as mine. It's the weekly diary. So 12 chapters, 52 sections, 365 new opportunities. The bank holidays and notable dates in the UK that are remaining to the end of the year. Very handy so that you know when they are and what day of the week they are. This is just a page marker that I made from some leftover pieces of the paper I printed from Plan with Bee. You will find her on Instagram. Now, she really liked my weekly format. I have shown it before on one of my other flip throughs. If you want to have a look. I don't know how to link videos yet. That's another thing I need to put on my to-do list. But with her having 3 children, a husband and herself, I had to put a week onto 4 pages. So this is tasks, urgent, tracking sheet, tracking box, things to do for that week. These are, I thought that was monthly there, but no, it's not. It's one for each of our sons, going in age order, a husband and her, and in the last column, 3 priorities for the day. She tends to overwork herself, so that is that. And then on the end, on the last page, I just put a brain dump sheet. So that could be used for things for next week, things that have come to mind that need doing, that might need planning in, or just things you want to write down and get off your chest, basically. So there's a few weeks of that, 4 pages to a week, and another one of those little holders for photographs. She's big on her photographs, just like I am. The next section I've called My Crew, which is for family. And I found this image on Pinterest, which I absolutely love. Some parents run a tight ship. I run a pirate ship. There is some swearing, some drinking, and a touch of mutiny from the tiny crew I created, which she will think is so funny, and I do too. I hope you do. And again, another picture from Pinterest. Parenting, if you feel crazy, then you're doing it right. So, yeah. Both of us have felt like that at various points of time. So, an appointment sheet. This is just for everybody in the house, so that you can, instead of just flicking through all your diary and find out when things are, who, date it's on, and the details. So it's like a master list of appointments, so you can always see what's there. And again, a medicine tracker. If anybody needs painkillers or a course of antibiotics, you can keep a record here, so you don't oh, excuse me, so you don't overdose by accident. It's so easy to lose track if you've got lots going on when you've given medicine. So I find that quite handy. Again, another sheet of paper which has come over the school information, uniform that you need, term dates for this coming year, 25-26. So again, that's clear, and if she wants to carry on with this, I can print off next year's for her. So there is an information sheet for personal details for each child, and then a wish list. I will put a photograph of each child as a divider for the section and a label underneath. So at the moment there's just the information sheet and a wish list, and for her 2 children which are still at school, I have a fold out annual that goes off screen, I'm sorry, year to view. Our school year goes from September to July. We break up in July, usually roundabouts the 18th, 19th, 17th, 24th even. Oh, grief. And then we're on our 6 weeks holidays. So each child who is still at school has one of those to keep. You can either keep holidays, term dates, record of when they're off sick. These are all just suggestions, but that's how I use these. Wish list. And again, there's one for her husband and for herself. and our own wish list. So Christmas is coming up, and this little charm is orange stars in a glass bauble, just to mark her section. So so that's the family finished. Random shit is basically just bits and pieces of anything that's kind of floating around. So I have some sheets for ideas, some sheets for different subjects that might not be ideas or things to look into or whatever. There's a few of each of them. There's not a great deal in here. So TV series trackers, she said she wanted one of them, and then just some dot paper and some lined paper if she needs to make some notes. And the last section is rogues and villains. I'd run out of folders, so there's another piece of the vellum there. That A4 sheet of printed paper actually works out really good, because you get 3 pieces of personal sized with a long strip at the top, so you can actually make quite a bit from the one sheet of paper. So these are contacts. These are just like for in an emergency, if you lose your phone or your phone goes dead, name, telephone number and address if you need it, if you're out and you need to post something. So that is it so far. And there's a plastic folder wallet at the back for either a couple of photographs or a piece of card, just to work as a page lifter really. And at the back we have it was already open, a zippered section with mesh on. You can keep receipts, little bits, whatever you want really, that would fit, coins, but it might be a bit lumpy to write on. So the zip goes really smooth. There is a pen holder, but it's all leather, so there's no stretch, no give. If your pen is wider than the pen holder, that takes a big pen. That's just a cheap little pen. That takes that, no bother. So little extras I'm going to be giving her is another pen holder in case she's got a wider pen. Oh, I'm out of shot. I'm really sorry. I'm working on my knee there. So it's one of those that you just stick on and apply. So I don't know where she'll stick it, wherever she wants really. And a highlighter pen. Now, this kind of makes me think of something that I'm quite aware of recently, as it's coming up to planner season. So, or what people call planner season. And obviously all the releases are out for next year, Hobonichi's, Sterling Ink, things like that. This pastel highlighter, I bought from our local supermarket, which is Asda. Used to be part of Walmart. I'm not sure if it still is. I honestly don't know. But I got 6 slim highlighters for less than £2. And it just kind of highlighted, pardon the pun, that wasn't intended, but it works. I'll take it. There was a big craze recently about midliners, and it had to be that brand and things like that. And I'll be totally honest, I got quite sucked into it myself, and I was looking at them and they were a little bit out of my budget at the time. And I thought, well, Linda, don't buy any. You've got Tombow pens, which work as your highlighter, which I absolutely love anyway. And I thought, no, don't buy into it, because basically a highlighter is a highlighter, and it doesn't really matter how it highlights as long as it highlights. And there seems to be a panic buy almost every year for the bound books that come from Hobonichi and Sterling Ink, and I'm sure they're lovely, and if that's what you use, that's fab. That's absolutely great. But I've been tempted, and I'm a bloomin' rings user, and I've been a rings user for over 30 years. In fact, probably more like 40 years. And yet I still get tempted, and I just think, no, it's took you a long time to get your system sorted out, and it works. It works for me. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, if it's at the end of the day, it's your planner, and if your system works for you, then if it works, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. We can all buy the posh books and things like that, but somebody else has designed it. It's not yours. If it works for you, I think that's fantastic, and good on you. That's great. But I would buy one, and then I'd end up not using it. I did it last year with something else. I think my biggest mistake was probably buying a Stalogy notebook in A5. And again, I was sucked into, ooh, it's a Stalogy. And I found out I wasn't that keen on the paper. I know loads of people rave over it. And yes, you can get a full year's worth in quite a thin book. But I didn't like it. And that's like 25 to 30 pounds I've spent that kind of sit there doing nothing. And what a waste. So, yeah, I know all the goodies are going past your eyes at the moment. I suppose all I'm saying is think about it. You know, it's your planner. It has to work for you. And if somebody else has designed it for their lifestyle, it might not fit yours at all. Anyway, I'm going to step off my soapbox now. Sorry. But if you've made a sucked into the hype kind of mistake, let me know in the comments underneath. Let me know I'm not on my own here. So, but that's my friend's journal and planner. I'm pretty sure she's going to like it. She might actually cry. She might bubble a bit when she sees it, especially when the photographs are in. So the snap still is tight. The rings are very tight. I think it was a really good buy for £15. And I'm going to try and give it to her this afternoon or tomorrow. So you take care. Watch what you're doing. Have fun this week. And hopefully I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.